Hello, and welcome to the studio for a review of the PSVR2. And you're thinking, wait, if you're reviewing the PSVR2, shouldn't you be by the PS5 down in the living room? I would if I was ever going to use this again. So that kind of tells you where I'm going with this. It's a long story, and by the way, some of these things will not be true for you. So don't not buy one because of this, although I would take pause and consider what I'm saying before you spend the $500 to $800 to get this and all the little components and the charging station and the headphones if you go that way. So it could be quite an investment, not to mention the games. So before you do all that, let me tell you my experience. You actually already know my experience if you watched this video, which was my setup, and the minute I put it on, I started complaining because it wasn't working out for me. Now it turns out these Fresnel lenses that it uses. So there's these concentric rings, and what they're doing is they're bending the light so that it's putting more light into your eyeballs. And it has to do that because the OLED screens that they went with weren't quite bright enough using normal like pancake lenses. So they had to use these Fresnel lenses to boost the light. Well, there's one problem with Fresnel lenses. They're bending the light, and they're bending it in different directions. So again, in this video, I constantly was complaining that anything white on the screen would have echoes above and below in red and blue. So you'd have a white button, and then there would be above and below would be like red and blue. So they're prismatic lenses because they're bending the light. And they're bending it in such a way that I could not get it to focus. Now, that was me. And after a lot of experimentation, because I really tried to make this work, I bought a bunch of titles. I tried it, and it gives me headaches from this light bending. Now, the thing is, it's because it minutely moves up and down in front of my eyes, which apparently is, I don't know if you've noticed, I have a lot of hair back here. And while I never thought my hair was that thick, apparently it's thick enough that this thing can't grab on, and so it just constantly just slides little tiny bits up and down on my hair. A commenter on one of my videos said, well, if you put your hair up in a ponytail above this, that it would kind of hold it down. Well, I even tried that. No, that didn't work for me either. It would still slide up and down. And as long as it won't stay still, I can't get the thing into my eyes. I can't get the thing to collapse into one white line instead of a red and a blue and a white. So it just makes the whole thing unusable for me. But wait, that's not my only problem with it, but it's a major problem. So before you buy one of these, because they're not specific to a person, they don't have like special lenses or anything, you can try on someone else's. So find someone you know who has one and try it out before you buy, because if you have the same problem I do, I gotta tell you, you're gonna hate yourself and you're gonna be annoyed that you spent so many hundreds of dollars on something that you basically cannot use. But again, if you go watch all the videos on YouTube, everybody talking about this thing, and there's hundreds of creators who love it. Love it. I know that this problem is it's not unique to me, but it's not common. It's like a small percentage of people are going to have this problem. But wait, even if I didn't have this problem, I would probably not be using this very much. It turns out I'm not a VR kind of person. I thought I was, because I love 3D and I love immersion and all that. But what I do not like is standing up. And in most VR games, you play them standing up. Now, there's a thing in the PSVR2 where it says, play seated. And like there's a kayaking game, which, by the way, is just gorgeous if it didn't have the problems I have with the lenses. But I mean, it's a gorgeous game, and you see you kayak by penguins up in the Arctic or in the Antarctic. I don't know where penguins are. For most games, you really need to be standing up. Not a fan. I have spent 20 years playing games seated on the couch with a controller in my hand. Now, with this thing, you still have controllers, but now you have one on each hand. But you're not sitting down. You're not comfortable. Plus, if you remember from that video, I almost fell over. You kind of start doing this, you're not sure what's going on, and I almost keeled over backwards. Well, you young people, not a problem. Don't worry about it. You'll just get up and keep going. I'm old. I could break a hip. It's dangerous for me to fall down. So I can't play a thing I'm going to fall down. I have to be seated. And this just really isn't perfect for seating. In my setup video, I played the Horizon Zero Dawn PSVR2 game that came with my headset, and it was amazing and gorgeous. Again, I still had my problem. But the movement and using your hands to walk. Now, there was a thing you could use the controllers, but I should have known, because whenever there's a game where you can play first person where you're looking like from here, or have your character standing in front of you and control them, I always have my character standing in front of me. I never play in first person. I always play in third person, where I'm controlling the character in front of me. And this is first person only. That's how it works. You can't be controlling somebody standing in front of you, because it's you and it's what you're seeing, which is amazing. If you like that kind of thing, you'll love this. Again, if you don't have the problem I had. But for me, I don't like being first person. I don't like standing up. I like sitting in my chair. I like being comfy. This is a complete no-go for me. Again, if they could fix the thing with the lenses, which of course they'd have to replace the lenses, and I don't know why they would do that. Wait, PSVR3. For all these reasons, this is probably one of the worst purchase decisions I have ever made. Some of you would be thinking, wait a minute, I saw your Apple Vision Pro video. You want one of those so bad. That is not a VR device. That is an AR device, augmented reality, with some virtual reality. And it's not a gaming thing. Go watch my Vision Pro video, and you'll see that a lot of the scenes in Apple's videos of people using it, they're sitting down. That's what I want. I want the 3D immersion capability while I'm seated. Where Sony really screwed the pooch with this thing was actually not with this thing. It was when they brought out the PS5. Because when they brought up PS5, PS4 could play 3D Blu-rays. PS5 cannot. So they gave up on 3D. Then they bring out a 3D accessory. But you can't watch 3D movies on it. It's not a very good review. Well, I couldn't really use the product. I used it as much as I could. I tried a bunch of games. I tried Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which I really didn't care for. I don't like the movement, the way you move around in VR games. I like having the person that I'm controlling there, and I'm moving them. I'm basically telling them what to do with a joystick. That I can handle. So, PSVR2, not for me. Doesn't mean it's not for you. My best advice is try one. Don't buy one without having put one on and messed around with it, because see if you can take it. You also get really hot under here. I mean, that's my take on the PSVR2. Try it before you buy it. If you don't have the problem I have, if you don't mind standing up, if you don't mind moving around, if you don't mind being active, if you don't mind the first person view, this could be perfect for you. You might love this. In fact, go watch all the other videos on YouTube where they all love it. I'm like one of the few people who doesn't like it, who can't wear it. I'm sure there are others, but they apparently never made videos. PSVR2 is a fail for me. Maybe not for you, but for me. Like I said, try one before you buy one. That's it for today. I'm working on other stuff, and I don't know what. It's still the beginning of the semester. I'm still making a lot of videos for school. But I'll get caught up, and then we'll we'll go out and do some more stuff. But I promised this 6 months ago, so I figured I had to get to it eventually. So today's the day. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye.